WQHG Channel 5 news broadcast for your 6 o'clock news. I'm sports and weather newscaster Evan Laws.
For state and local news, I'm Spencer Schutz.
And I'm Kody Velasquez, covering U.S. and international news.
And to start off tonight, Evan will be bringing you the sports news.
I'm Evan Laws, bringing you tonight's sports update. Devastating news in the sports world earlier this week. Roy Halladay, former Blue Jays and Phillies pitcher, died in a plane crash on Tuesday. The two-time Cy Young Award winner crashed his private plane in the Gulf of Mexico, and the cause of this aircraft failure has yet to be determined. Coach K of Duke University earned his 1,000th career coaching win Saturday evening when his Duke Blue Devils took on the Utah Valley Wolverines at home in Durham, North Carolina. This game was a blowout, 99-69, with the Blue Devils on top. Congratulations to Coach K for being the first men's collegiate basketball coach for reaching the 1,000 win mark. Area playoff football teams have been successful this fall. Newman and Sterling are playing and entering the fourth round of the state semifinals. Congratulations to these teams for their accomplishments. Newman heads to Gibson City, Melvin Sibley to try to return to the state finals for the third time since 2010. However, the game of the week is Sterling versus Chicago Phillips. Both teams are undefeated and looking to stay that way throughout the rest of the playoffs. If you have nothing going on Saturday afternoon, come out to support Sterling at Chevrolet Field at 2 p.m. That's it for sports news. Now on to international news with Kody Velasquez.
With international news, I'm Kody Velasquez. A powerful earthquake has struck along the border of Iran and Iraq today, leaving at least 452 killed and thousands injured. The earthquake was the deadliest of the year, topping the one that hit Mexico in September. The quake was felt as far away as Turkey and Pakistan. In other news, LaAngelo Ball, UCLA star and younger brother of former Bruins standout Lonzo Ball, was recently arrested in China along with teammates Cody Riley and Jalen Hill. While on a Chinese tour, the players were caught allegedly stealing sunglasses from a Louis Vuitton store near their hotel. All charges have been dropped by the Chinese government, and the players are now returning to the United States for this Friday's game against UC State, but missed their game on the 10th in China because of being on house arrest. I'm Kody Velasquez, and that's it for international news. Now let's take a break and follow with Spencer Schutz and state news.
Are you tired of being the laughingstock of your basketball team?
Well, if your vert game looks like this, then it's time to get rid of your old stomps.
Lace up a pair of G Herbos.
Studies have shown that wearing the G Herbos can increase your vertical by up to 12 inches.
For one small payment of $299.99, you can have these G Herbos to help you slam the competition.
And if you call in the next 10 minutes, we'll include our limited edition McLaren shooting sleeve.
Guaranteed to help you hit the three from anywhere on the court. So call now to order your G Herbos and receive your free McLaren shooting sleeve.
Hi, I'm Jalen Bickett, and I approve of the G Herbos.
I'm Spencer Schutz, bringing you this week's state news. Breaking news in Chicago. 18-year-old accused of making Snapchat threat to shoot up Wakanda High School, one of the suburbs of Chicago. 18-year-old Karsten Goodson was charged with disorderly conduct after officials say he sent a graphic Snapchat video to dozens of Wakanda High School students threatening to show you what a school shooter really is. Police reportedly found Goodson at his parents' home in Island Lake at 7 p.m. Tuesday, where he was then taken to custody at the Wakanda Police Department. No weapons were found at the house, and Goodson did not appear to have a weapon with him in the video. Goodson is charged with one count of disorderly conduct, threat to a school, a felony, according to police and Lake County prosecutors. His address was listed being in Yates City, a town in west central Illinois. Students alerted the school administration Tuesday while classes were going on that they had received the video. In the video, Goodson, who has been absent from school for the past 20 days, gave a continuous threat to the students that he will show them who a school shooter really is. The suspect repeatedly used vulgar language and indicated that he was angry at some students for the actions and threats they had towards him. Instead, he was going to get revenge on them. Goodson's bail was set at $50,000, meaning someone needed to post a $5,000 bond for Goodson to be released. The charge can bring up to 3 years in prison, and if Goodson does not post bond, conditions of his release would include no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or access to social media, and a curfew would be set. Car owners in Chicago are encouraged to be extra cautious, especially in gas stations. In this past weekend alone, 5 different people have had their car stolen after leaving it running and unattended at a gas station or even their own home. In one case, a normal trip to the gas station turned into a nightmare for this Chicago man. While walking into the gas station to pay, his car was stolen with his 2 young children in the back seat. Fortunately, the car was found a couple blocks away, fully intact, with the twin babies in the back seat unharmed. This case may not have resulted in any injuries, but Evelyn Romo cannot say the same. Romo reportedly left her car running outside of her house to let it warm up. As she returned, her vehicle was driving off down the street. Romo then used OnStar to track down her car. As she approached the individuals who stole her vehicle, her foot was caught under the car as the criminals drove away in the vehicle, causing injuries to her foot and leg. A 15-year-old girl who was riding in the vehicle when it was stolen has been arrested, but the driver has not yet been found. This crime and the theft of the car with the babies in the back are still being investigated by Chicago police. I'm Spencer Schutz, and that is our latest state news story. Now to the commercial and Evan Laws with news to follow. I'm Spencer Schutz, and that is it for our latest state news story. Now to commercial and Kody Velasquez with U.S. news to follow.
I'm Kody Velasquez with U.S. News. An update on the Texas church shooting. The Texas church where a man armed with a Ruger assault-type rifle massacred dozens of worshipers could soon have a date with a wrecking ball. Pastor Frank Pomeroy says it would be too stark a memory to resume services in the First Baptist Church and wants to tear down the bullet-ridden building and possibly make it a memorial site for the victims. I'm Kody Velasquez, and that's all for U.S. News. Now on to Evan with this week's weather forecast.
I'm Evan Laws bringing you the weather. Today will be a high of 41 degrees and a low of 31 degrees, partly cloudy. Friday, the temperatures will warm up with the high of being around 46 degrees and the low around 38. However, there's a 70% chance of precipitation and 15-mile-an-hour winds. On Saturday, the temperatures will cool back off with a high of only 40 degrees and a 40% chance of rain. 36 degrees will be the high temperature on Sunday, with lows dropping to the freezing point. Things will warm back up on Monday, with highs topping out at 47 degrees and 0% chance of rain. Tuesday will be partly cloudy, with lows dropping to 26 degrees and the winds at 12 miles an hour. Wednesday will be very similar with highs of only 37 degrees. I'm Evan Laws, and that is this week's 7-day forecast. Now to Spencer with local news.
Why all the ladies are walking by you, passing you up? Maybe it's because you don't have that full head of hair everyone wants. Well, it's your time to try Pure Natural Hair Regrower. It's hypoallergenic, getting you that full, luscious head of hair everyone wants in just 2 weeks. Call now to try our brand new Pure Natural Hair Regrower. Works practically every time. Thank you, Evan. I'm Spencer Schutz, bringing you your local news. We now have an update from Walnut, Illinois. According to his father, 6-year-old Caleb Clausen, who was struck by a semi in Walnut on September 19th, was transferred to a Chicago facility for rehabilitation this past Monday. He was first taken to Perry Memorial Hospital in Princeton after the accident with apparent life-threatening injuries, and then transferred to OSF St. Francis Medical Center in Peoria, where he has spent the last month and a half. A fundraiser has been set up to raise money to help with the medical bills for the Clausen family. That is it for your local news tonight with me, Spencer Schutz. Thank you for joining us tonight at WQHG News for your 6 o'clock broadcast. Join us tomorrow night at 6 o'clock for the latest news around.
I'm Evan Laws.
I'm Spencer Schutz.
And I'm Kody Velasquez. You stay classy, Rock Falls.
WQHG Channel 5 News would like to thank all of its sponsors, especially Chris Bikema. This news broadcast would not have been possible without all the help and support from him. Thank you, Mr. Bikema.